right, hey, it's Friday. You're here. It's In Question, and today a special band in the studio here today. The band's name is Next Evolution. They are an Arizona-based band, right, guys? Arizona-based.
Yes.
You can chime in, even though it's the monologue. There it is. Next Evolution, live in the studio here. What do you guys say? So, first of all, why don't we go around and introduce yourselves and the musical instrument that you actually play.
All right.
Triangle?
Jack Duchesne, triangle and guitar.
Very nice. Go.
Albie Macrino, I am the voice of the
Should look over this way,
Oh, yeah.
not the monitor. Yeah, look at me.
Yeah.
There you go.
I did
So,
the same thing.
I am Alex Cabaking, and I play the groovy bass.
groovy bass. And Dylan.
And I'm Dylan Kidner. I play those drums, man, and I do a little bit of backup singing as well.
Yes.
A little bit of backup.
Thank goodness.
That's good.
I try to help out, make it easy.
So, how would you guys describe your music? Because it's kind of a unique sound that I've heard.
Jack.
I think we just take all the greatest things about
Could you
all
move the mic over to you?
all the music
Yeah.
that we love, all
Yeah.
the metal music we grew up listening to, and we it's just in our blood, and it just comes out when we do our original music, like the classics like Ozzy Osbourne, Scorpions, Queensryche, and we just kind of
So you're 80s like me. I love that.
It just comes out in us, but we also grew up in the 90s. So we have a lot of different influences.
Wait, is that when you actually grew up? Because you were just a kid in the 80s?
Absolutely.
So you were like a child rocker and then moved to the
So
maturity.
we have our alternative influences as well, which you
Yes.
will definitely hear in the music. So it's not just all just one way, but we try to just bring the best of what we grew up listening to.
That's what I
Got
heard,
it.
Yeah.
Pull that mic closer to you. I want
Move
the
your
people to hear you.
iPad.
Yeah.
Why do you have your iPad in front of you? Move that.
I've been
There you
checking
go.
out some of you
Tough
guys'
band.
stuff.
It's so harsh on each
band.
other.
Show, and definitely the influences from those places. Definitely the 80s metal, classic metal. Definitely some of the Seattle grunge stuff. You know.
Yeah, it's there.
So your music right now, you have an album out, is that correct?
just finishing
Almost,
it.
Just
yeah, it's
almost done?
In the works.
We're-
Okay, because
we're
you sent me
just
the
in
album cover.
Yeah, we have the cover done. We have all the packaging's done. We're just waiting for the final
Yeah,
mixes.
we're in the post-production
Yeah.
phase right now. We're just about to enter mastering, and so we should have it out hopefully before August 27th. So.
Absolutely. We won't even hope that.
You got to get in closer to that mic. These people, you got a little.
Yeah, so we're,
As a backup singer, I know you're quiet and in the back. Just
yeah,
kinda
I got to
harmonizes
make
it.
sure that he
But I
comes
gotta
out
hear
better.
you.
That's why I need his
Even
mic
though he's
right
the banger, he's quite the softie.
I am. I try to be.
But I love the hat.
But dude, I love this hat too, man. It's
It's a beautiful hat. What
is.
time do you have to be back in the window?
right after this, actually. I got to keep modeling until about 8. But
That's cool.
yeah, so we're in post production right now. We're just about heading into mastering, and we're gonna have it done by August 27th. And
That's the big concert
That's the
update,
show
right?
at the
big
Marquee
show, man.
Theater.
We had the Marquee, right?
Marquee
Yes.
Theater, yeah.
And who else also is going to be playing that night?
Well, the headliner will be Black Wolf Mountain.
Okay.
Rawr.
Rawr.
Then there's Carol, right? Something in the honey.
Carol something in the Honeymakers.
There we go. Carol Pacey.
Sorry.
Carol Pacey?
Carol
Yep.
Pacey.
Carol
Sorry
Pacey and the
that we got the name
Honeymakers.
wrong on it
The
for a moment.
Bayou
The Bayou Bandits,
Bandits.
and then the Hardways.
Hardaways.
So is
yes.
it kind of like a rock type of concert? Or would you say is a pretty equal mix of...
it's actually. I mean, Black Wolf's a little bit harder. Next Evolution is now. Black Wolf isn't that hard, but
It's
you know,
rock.
yeah, it's definitely your rock, hard rock. Next Evolution is definitely a little bit lighter.
When you say lighter, what would you compare it to? Because you have a high voice when you're
Well,
singing.
you know what?
Yeah,
One of the things I'm
I don't
thinking.
consider it high.
You know?
Yeah, he does.
Maybe I just had it way too loud when I was listening to it.
Yeah, no. What I would say is, I mean, Black Wolf Mountain. You're bordering on Megadeth, Metallica, Black Label Society. You know, it's really aggressive. It's got teeth.
Yeah.
It's aggressive.
And Next Evolution, you're moving into Queensryche and in some alternative.
Queensryche
like
has
he was
a-
talking about.
He's got a high voice.
It's
Yes.
So if
He
you're
can
comparing
sound
it,
like him. I
Yeah.
mean, there's
yeah, I mean, you're
times-
hitting those high notes.
I can hit a high note.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you definitely could.
not
The song you sent me
necessarily,
was...
you know, like Triumph and Rush type.
He's not Mariah Carey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Thanks, Dan, for clarifing.
He wears tight
He's
pants,
not
but
Mariah
he's not Mariah Carey.
I thought we had Mariah Carey.
Don't they call them pinchers?
Well, you guys saying you're going to wear spandex at the next show? Maybe he will be able to hit that.
Spandex with cowboy boots.
He'll be able to
Classic look.
That'll help.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Where are we going with this?
But yeah, so no, but it's I did listen to Carol a little bit, and she's got a very unique sound to her. Bayou Bandits, they're really different as well. They've got more of that southern style, and the old school.
Is it like
classic
ZZ
rock.
Top type rock?
Kind of, or at least some of the
Because you
stuff
said
that I had
southern
heard.
style. There's like
Some of the
Skinner.
stuff that I had heard, it was along the lines of ZZ
Are these
Top,
all cover
Skinner.
bands or they
No,
originals?
They're all
from-
originals, yeah.
From what
Okay.
I understand, they're all originals.
Are
And
they blues based?
I believe Bayou Bandits is more blues based. I haven't heard anything of the Hardways yet, and I do want to get in, hop on YouTube. I've just been so busy lately.
That's it's one of the things about YouTube is now it's hard to find bands
It is
because they have a lot of advertising that comes up. I mean, you type in somebody's name. Like I was talking to a band, and they were like, "Hey, can you look me up?" And I was like, "Okay, what is it?" And they're like, "Go to YouTube." So I go to YouTube, and he's like telling me his actual name. Right? That's the name of the band. It's like,
his name.
Lou something, right? Lou Magoo or something like that. And I type in Lou Magoo the way he tells me to spell it. And I go, okay, where are you? Because I'm like scrolling. He's like, look for the one that says this. And that's the hard part about music today is there's so many advertisers that are popping up. You're not getting that feeling. You're not finding the music. And how do bands, and that's what we're going to get into, is like, how do bands today actually get their music out? Because record labels, they're there, but I don't see the trend going to them. I like Tool was like one of those unique bands that sold 10 million by themselves.
Yeah.
How do you guys sell it? But how are you guys planning to sell your music?
Well, this particular music in this project was based off a seminar company that I've owned for 15 years.
Okay.
That does full weekends, and one of the elements of the weekend, we'll say transformational type of work, is music. So I use music on purpose during certain experiences or right after something to reflect on. And I had decided a long time ago, at some point, I'm using music right off the radio, right?
Yeah.
Just stuff that, maybe they're coming in and out of the room and they're hearing Creed or something. Inspirational, sort of powerful stuff. And I was always like, I want to get to a place where we can just write the music ourselves so it actually matches what's going on in here. And that's really how Next Evolution was born, knowing that the audience is primarily going to be graduates. We've had 10,000 graduates so far, so the audience will end up being graduates. As the band gets together, and actually 3 of us in here are in Black Wolf Mountain, so that just sort of fell. We were already playing together, and then our singer moved to Florida, back to Florida. So he flies out here, which he'll fly out for the show. We fly out there if we have to go there or whatever. And decided, was talking to these guys. They've been in Next Evolution. They know what it's all about. And they were on board and like, yeah, let's do something. And then I called this guy up because he's been through Next Evolution, so he knows what it's about. And he's also the singer in the STP tribute with me. So it was like, that's how it all blended. Now, as it happened, and when you're jamming with these two and this guy, you figure out pretty quick this music's really good, and you got to go play live. What are you going to do?
All right.
So, yeah, it was going to be just geared for the graduates in the big community we're building, yet Marquis was there, and it's like, no, just go play. We'll play in front of anybody.
So we're putting together a concert.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I heard.
It's called NoVid, meaning no COVID.
Love it.
And
Like it.
Try not to bang. Everybody's serious. We'll be ringing. But yeah, we're trying to put together an outdoor concert. Now this is kind of just in a field, Woodstock type of scenario. The reason being is because those, you can't find places with all the rules to do anything these days, right? I'm sure it was hard enough for the Marquis to give you that place with that, and I'm sure there's going to be rules, wear hand cream before you come in and masks or.
The Marquis has a specific rule: no gum. Says at the door.
Yeah,
absolutely
no gum.
no
Absolutely
gum.
no
And they
gum.
check you and they confiscate it at the door. So go ahead. Yeah.
No
gum.
bubblicious.
No.
Nope. Not even wintergreen. Can't even
But
smell fresh.
the idea was have a concert, let all of the bands come, right? 3 days, totally free. But you have to buy the television subscription because we are going to broadcast it. So that helps and get sponsors to allow all these bands from all over just to come in and play, kind of like a Woodstock every hour of the day up until I think midnight, and then let everybody go to sleep or party, kind of like a Country Thunder.
Yeah.
And it's 1,500 acres, so it's quite big.
Wow.
Dude.
And we have, and it's RV, tent, trailer. So if you're afraid of going out in front of people, you can just set up your camp because it's kind of on a hill. So it's like all movie or let's call it the concert venues. It's all on a hill. So if you get lawn seats, you're way up high and you can still see. Well, imagine like RVs kind of like tiered.
Almost like an
tents.
amphitheater kind of
But
stuff.
I added magicians that will be walking around and on stage, like while the band is changing, they'll be doing magic. Even through a friend, Chris Angel is going to stop by. So there's going to be like some big names. Why? Because they haven't gone outside in a year. Even Vegas was closed for a year.
Yeah, it was.
Right? So where do bands play?
that.
So we ended up putting this, so it's novidconcert.com. It is in November, and that's what we're putting together. We have the staging. We already have the broadcast, so we can do it live. You can watch if you don't even you want to come just to take your kids for 3 days. That's why I said it's a whole family thing. And we have tents and everything that we're putting up for like vendors during the day. Like kids can get their face painted, have a music session, music teaching stuff. So it's all about interaction. Pretty cool. Here in Arizona.
It's going to be in Arizona.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's actually kind of halfway between here and LA. So it's 2 hours for us and 2 hours for them.
So that'd be right around Blythe and all that?
Kind of.
By the borders.
Well, we can't tell the secret
Okay, I
of
won't.
where the location
Come
is.
on, Jack.
Law
All right.
enforcement will be tuning in, And when you have 1,500 acres, it's kind of like the old follow the signs.
We're going to El Paso to do it.
Yes,
That's
it
the
will be
real
in
location.
Texas.
It's in El Paso.
See us in
Okay,
Texas.
officer, it's in El Paso.
What's the border right over Yuma?
Yeah.
Right there?
No, it's Tucson. That's where
Yeah.
that's where it's at, guys. That's where it's at. It's in Tucson.
Well, thank you for being over obvious. I appreciate that. So let's get back to your band, though. Your band is now playing at the Marquee, right?
Yes.
Is that your first concert?
Yes.
Yes, debut concert for
Debut?
Next
Debut.
Evolution.
What a
Are you gonna be
debut,
selling
too. The
discs?
Marquee Theater with the
Right.
big old huge stage. That's awesome.
I'm sorry, what?
The Marquee Theater with that big stage up
For a
there for a
debut
first show.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for a band to play that as your first show, that is amazing.
It's a nice venue.
It's
Yeah.
probably one
I
of
was
the
there with
great-
Lacuna Coil and some other bands. They're personal friends of mine. I think I've known them like 14 years, maybe 20. Every time they come here, I'm backstage with them. But either way, this is your time, your band. So how did you guys all meet? How did you guys get together? Because I'm always fascinated how a band comes together. I know you kind of gave insight to the evolution, but I mean, is it? I even asked you this last week. Like, is it a Craigslist posting and you come and audition? Is it
It was for my
How do you
band.
find band members?
Well, one thing I don't know is how you actually met Dylan. So how did you
I met
actually meet
Dylan.
Dylan?
So the band doesn't know how they all met. This is great.
I met Dylan.
Oh, this is funny.
Yeah, I met Dylan through a bass player that back in Vegas when I was in my 20s, me and this bass player were jamming. We had a band. We moved to Phoenix. And then we just sort of went our own ways or whatever. And then I was having a party at my house. And it was like open, just bring people,
Man, did
have
you
a
get that
good time.
invite? I didn't get that invite.
Yeah, I didn't know you guys, but had a party, and then that's when
Quite
this
upset
guy
about it.
shows up. So he shows up at the party, and then I find out he's a drummer, and we get along, and we started hanging out. And then his band with my other bass player sort of dissolved, and then I was like, do you want to do an STP tribute? So we did that first, which led to that guy. So we auditioned somebody. It was
Pointing
the
to Howie.
craziest thing. This guy shows up, and he plays STP songs for him and I on acoustic.
Yeah.
And we're like, this guy's really good. This is going to be great.
Oh, he was
We
hitting
call him
it.
back.
Perfect.
Perfect stuff. Call him back, full band, turn on electric guitars. Guy can't sing. Seriously.
Right. Yeah. The acoustic, no problem. As soon as we went electric, he had no idea what was going on.
He
Like,
was
had
the
no
weird-
clue. Yeah, acoustic.
Never
He's
seen
like,
anything
I know
like
exactly this note, this note, this note, and then turn on the amplifier, and he's like,
So he's saying fine with an acoustic
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So then
So,
the bass players turned me on to this guy, which then we have been friends ever since then and working together. That guy, He's just working as a waiter in this place I go to have breakfast.
Yeah,
And
like he was. I had started working there,
Yeah.
and this guy would come in like twice a week, and I was like, oh, it's this guy again.
And you're like, oh, that's cheap ass tipper.
Yeah, I'm like, it's Jack. Oh, you guys know about Jack? Okay. And he comes in one day wearing a Ride the Lightning shirt, and Metallica has been my favorite band of all time since I was like 15 years old. So not that long for a lifespan, but still. He comes in and I was like, dude, awesome shirt. I love Metallica. And he was like, oh, you're into music. And I was like, yeah, dude, totally. Like I play a little bit of guitar. I play a little bit of bass. And he was like, well, we should jam sometime. We should get together. And so we
awesome.
shared information. And then next thing you know, he's like, hey, you want to come over and, jam out? I'm thinking of starting like a cover band. And I was like, sure, why not? So actually, I started a cover. It was like a 70s, 80s, a little bit of 90s too, one-hit wonder cover band. And it was me playing bass, him on guitar, my other buddy on guitar, and then Howie actually singing. So that's how we all kind of got together. And then how I met Dylan as well is one day Jack hit me up, and he was like, hey, I have another
He's like, hey, I want to go to breakfast at a new place.
Yeah. I'm sick of your spot.
I need new eggs.
Yeah.
But he was like, hey, buddy, I got another proposition for you. And he was like, the other band that I've kind of been playing in for a while, Black Wolf Mountain, their bassist just decided to kick the curb. And we're kind of in need of a bassist. Would you want to maybe try out for it? And I was like, sure, why not? And the next thing bada boom, bada bing, here I am, and now jamming with Dylan and Jack and Howie, and it's a great chemistry.
This guy killed it too. He came in 3 weeks before our debut show. We had this show booked for 2 months. We were ready to go, and our other bass player, he left. Whatever differences that he had, whatever. But yeah, he came in. We gave him all 12 songs. We were playing 12 songs, and he learned all 12 songs in 3 weeks. Got him down and nailed it at the freaking show. And I was like, that's just amazing. I thought it was crazy because they weren't the easiest bass lines that the previous bass player had written.
Well, and at the time,
So-
I had only been playing bass for like a year and a half.
Yeah, it's true.
That's actually pretty impressive right
So-
there.
So yeah,
So
12 songs.
you were
3
made
weeks.
for this.
Oh,
Kind of, yeah. And when I first came in, like being a guitar player historically, and then switching over to bass, being like, you know what, I'm just going to play like, the rhythm guitar parts on bass. And that's
Yeah.
how I kind of first approached it. And it worked for the time being, it got us through. But then it was like, okay, if you're going to stay in this band, do you want to stay in this band? I was like, hell yeah, I want to stay in this band. It was like, all right, now you got to kind of start thinking of a bass player. And then our singer, John, who's a really big Metallica fan too, he's like, just think of it this way, what would Cliff do? And I was
Who's Cliff?
Cliff Burton from Metallica.
Oh, okay.
The original.
So he was
Sorry.
like, what would Cliff, well, technically not the original, but but he was like, what would Cliff do? Just think of that. And then I've just gone up from there.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and he's made
It's actually
way
a pretty cool story. See?
massive
That's
improvements
awesome.
since he began.
Yeah, I went in that
So
restaurant
now
for
do
a
you,
while.
do you even go to that restaurant anymore?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Perk?
So now you're trying
Can
to
we
pick up
plug
another
Perk
song?
right now?
Now I'm trying to plug
every single day.
Here, Carmen, if you,
tell
find this.
Carmen
Yeah,
I
you tell-
plug Perk Eatery. It's the best breakfast place I've ever found in my whole
Perk?
life. Perk Eatery.
Perk Eatery.
64th
You
Street
been
and
there,
Greenway.
Dan?
I have not been to Perk.
No.
I was going in there, and everyone
You're
knew
welcome,
me. And this
Carmen.
guy, we never even
Sleep.
said a word to each other, right? I was just like, I don't know who this guy is. But I knew everyone else. They knew what I wanted when I walked in. Tell that Metallica shirt, because music does what?
Brings you together.
Yes, it does.
Always does. When you walked in with that Kiss, I was like, man, I
There you
remember
go.
those days. Kiss Love Gun. I did get the album cover with the Love Gun
Oh,
inside
yeah.
of it. Do you guys
Yeah.
remember that?
No, they don't.
No.
We don't.
No. I know you don't even know what vinyl is, do you?
Oh, yeah, we do.
I own a bunch of vinyls.
Really?
Yeah.
it was probably a hand-me-down,
They're mostly they're hand-me-downs, but they're mostly like Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, like some old classic big band stuff. I think I've got a couple Cream albums. Nothing really from the 80s, mostly from the 70s.
There's nothing like listening to vinyl.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
old stuff. It was made, and you're thinking it's just a little needle
Yeah.
on some plastic or vinyl, right?
Yeah.
And it's going around. It sounded so good.
Yes, it did.
It's the actual.
And I'm always fascinated when I go to somebody's house and I see like a record player.
Turntable.
Yeah.
It's the
I mean,
wave file
even the
in vinyl.
DJs don't even use it anymore.
Yeah.
They just have like these two spinning paddles.
And a laptop.
Right? Well, it's CDs, right? And a laptop,
That's
right?
all MP3s now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't even have the CD drives anymore on those things. It's
So, like, when you guys
ridiculous.
are making, you're probably using Pro Tools, right?
We actually have been using Reaper lately, which
Reaper.
Yeah.
that good?
it's honestly so Reaper you can download for free. and you can trial it out for a while as well.
So you're on the 1 year trial plan?
No, it's actually you can actually use it. And I've actually had it on one of my computers now for a couple of years still as a trial.
Really?
And yeah, you're still able to. I'm still able to use it, do what I need to with it.
So when you spin the record backwards, does it say you're purchased from Reaper?
I haven't tried that yet, but I do need to try it next time. But no, when you actually get the purchased version, there's a lot more stuff that you can do with it. You can build your own setup. At the studio that I'm working at right now and helping out at, KMS Studios, the Reaper design has actually been kind of rebuilt almost as a Pro Tools setup. So, because I did start on Pro Tools. I learned from my dad. He was teaching me different ways of recording on Pro Tools. And so to walk in and use Reaper and have it almost be the same setup, that's the cool thing about the purchase version is you can rebuild your setup and rebuild how you want it to look.
Can you send it to other people?
That I'm not sure yet.
Because like Pro Tools, you could send tracks back and forth.
Oh
as soon
yeah,
as you
no,
open it
yeah,
up.
you can still do all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can take all your waves and send them out, export them, do whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can pull them out into a zip file to where it's got all of the wave files in one folder, and send that off. So yeah, you can still do all the same things that you can do with Pro Tools. Pro Tools is just a lot more detailed. Like you can really go into stuff and really screw with things in different ways than you can with Reaper. And that's why a lot of the big time recording studios, they go for Pro Tools. I mean, it's been number one in the chain for years now. So I mean, that is the highest end recording software that you can use. But Reaper is actually not that bad, and I mean, I've been using it for a while now. And
So have I. It's
pretty easy
Yeah?
for cheaper software and for a nice free trial software. It's a really nice thing, especially if you're just beginning and just starting at home and stuff like that. You want to just try it out and kind of see. Reaper would be the best one. I mean, in my own personal opinion. And there's plenty of YouTube videos just to get you started and figure out, just what you're doing at the beginning, even just to make a demo. I'd recommend that instead of going out and paying $2,100 for an entire Pro Tools download session.
Got it. All right. Well, so getting back to the band, we should talk about the band, your experiences, your influences. Who would you say influenced you guys to write this style timing music? Because it's very unique.
It is, huh?
I think so.
Honestly, probably just a giant mix of a bunch of stuff.
Definitely metal.
Definitely metal,
Definitely.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely a lot of metal.
yeah. It is metal.
And we kind of, this was actually the weirdest writing.
Closer to
This
the
is the weirdest writing experience that I've ever had with a band. Because, I mean, usually how I, would write a song is, I'd come up with like a riff or I'd,
So you write? Is he the writer?
I write, he writes.
Actually, with this set, we all kind of sat together and we wrote a lot of stuff.
We did do
really
some of that.
together.
Group therapy?
There was a couple songs where Jack had he had everything ready to go. There was a song that I had that everything was ready to go. But there's a lot of these songs in here that we all sat together and we all kind of worked out. Well, how does does this work? And so everyone's really got a nice input in this, which is really weird because most bands you do have like your single writer.
Mm-hmm.
One person or two people that write all the songs or the majority of the songs. And this one, it was kind of like, I think Jack and I maybe had one song each, and then the rest was really built as a 4-person group.
So you all contributed on most of the songs?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm
Especially
getting?
with the lyric
Howie?
part.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think almost everyone in this band had some influence on the structure of the song, a lot of the lyrics. Some songs didn't have melody, but just words. So I would just come up with a melody, or sometimes the melody would be out there, but we would change up the melody just to fit my voice better. Some songs didn't have one verse, and I would write another verse to it. And that's what's cool about this group is we're really open-minded, and we're all wanting all our ideas. And once we got all our ideas together, we decided on what we were going to do. So it was definitely a great collaboration between everyone, so we could use everyone's strengths. So
That's how you know a good band is going to stay together for a while, is when you collaborate.
Now, do you guys write or come up with other parts for other people? Like, you're drumming. Are you thinking of riffs to give to him? Or vice
so,
versa, maybe a drum beat. Hey, you mouth a drum beat to him and he plays it, or
So actually, there was actually a couple like harmonies where I had brought him up to Howie, and we worked him out, and it just worked and it fit. There was a couple bass lines where I know Jack was like, hey, let's try something like this, and it just fit better.
Are you actually writing the music, like notes and stuff?
No,
You're not going old school.
no, I'll go easy drummer. I'll figure out a drum pattern for a song. I'll lay down rhythms and all that. I'll make a demo and then give it to these guys
And
if
then
it's
let 'em
just the
play around?
music part.
Is that how it works with you, Dan?
we'll do different types of collab. Whether it's Robbie, our singer, coming up with a riff and an idea and sending it out. He'll play some acoustic stuff and say, "Hey, what do you think of this?" Or Chan, our bassist, will have a bass line, or he plays guitar too, so he'll.
So do you collaborate like this band?
Not exactly, but we share the same Venn diagram, I'd say.
I see. So you're outside the
We're-
curtains.
We're different in some ways, but
Well, it's just it's bands. I'm just trying to get the
a lot
feeling.
a lot of our writing comes Robbie or Chan, or they'll come with a riff or an idea, and when we jam, we'll just start feeling it out like a little bit of a dance, and before you know it,
Yeah, then
we're doing the waltz.
Kind of like
singing it.
watching Bohemian Rhapsody when he went boom, boom, boom. He goes, "Hey,
Yeah.
what is that?"
Yeah.
You guys get that?
Yeah.
Do you do that?
But then
Sometimes.
Then,
No?
then sometimes it'll be directed and it'll be a riff that gets sent over. Just an acoustic recording on a text message. Hey, this is an idea, and then I'll go and sit down on the kit and I'll play a little bit to it, and then before you know it, we'll show up, we'll jam, and we'll do it till it gels.
No, and that's how Black Wolf Mountain. A lot of that goes on there.
Yeah.
Where we're going to take a break, and then I'll just be picking something or playing some little rhythm, and then I'll hear from the other room, "What is that?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Play it
then-
again.
Keep doing that.
Keep
Don't
doing
stop.
that. Don't stop. And then a full song will develop over the next hour, right?
Oh,
Like,
that's
boom.
literally how one of the Empty Frames.
Yeah, Empty Frames.
That's how Empty Frames was written, and it was really just Jack sitting there just screwing around with his guitar and just playing some stuff, and all of a sudden, what is that? Nothing, just messing around. Okay, don't stop. We'd sit there and we'd
Write it
start
all
working
out.
something out. And it's like, okay, all right, hey, you grab the bass. All right, Dylan, get behind the drum set. And, all of a sudden we're just jamming. We're working something out. We're like, okay, this is the next song. Like, this is
And
it.
we'd work
This
it
is
out. Now with Next Evolution.
So then you put words to that. So you're basically creating the music first,
Yeah.
then adding the words.
And John was sort of doing
John,
that at the
John
same
was kind
time.
of doing. He was working the lyrics while Jack
Yeah.
was just messing around on the guitar. So it was like, keep going, just keep going. Don't stop playing that one riff. Just keep playing that one riff. So he's like jotting down ideas, and then he'd be like, okay, I got enough. And then he'd be like, all right, you get on the drums, and all right, let's do this. And we just start playing, and he just starts scatting.
Now,
And
yeah. Now, Howie, when you do lyrics, do you have like a notebook full of them, or like that you just store, or are you coming up with them on the spot, or you have an idea?
A lot of the songs that I've written in the past, sometimes you just have lyrics, and then I'll try to see what I can spit out melodically without even words.
kind of pull it out of the shoebox.
And then
like a nice poem.
once a word comes out of my mouth that I think kind of fits it, and then the whole song could literally be written around one word. You guys
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
feel me on that.
Well-
Once you have the one powerful word, the rest of the song could definitely write itself within minutes. Am I right?
Well,
That's
we
how
actually
it worked
had
with
that-
the one song.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had that in the studio where he was tracking it, and he was like, "Dude, it just doesn't, it's not rolling right." And he changed the word, and next thing you know, he's like, "All right, no, that's it." And what song was that?
I'm not sure if we're thinking of the same song, but I know thinking with like I know
Yeah.
all we had was that bass melody. So the bass melody of it was just like it was part of the chorus, and it's just like I know and I know and I know, and that's all we had. So we literally sat down for it was like 3 or 4 hours.
Yep.
Just writing out line by line. Okay, this sounds good. Okay, well, we already said that in the last line. Now, how can we reiterate?
build?
Mix and match.
How can we
Yeah,
build?
exactly.
How can we create this? And with some of these songs, it's more of it's a listening process. It's a story, and it's kind of hard to write a story into a song. That's
Well, and on that particular song, we're actually writing about an experience that every one of us had
Yeah.
inside the seminar. Like, this was like one of the pinnacle things of the seminar, and this was a major experience. And what did that all mean to us? And then to articulate that, not only so we understood what it was, so that when the experience ends in the seminar and the lights go out and that song starts, they know what happened. Now they know what happened. Like, I only did it once with that song. When I flicked down those lights, those people knew what had just happened based off the song. Before, I would have to tell them what just happened. Now they're just listening to the words going, oh, that's what just happened. So it was super powerful. Got the effect that I was looking for.
Well, that's very cool. Is there any? Is there going to be like a bonus track about eggs?
Eggs.
Possibly.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah,
I like eggs.
Possibly.
just because you guys met in the restaurant twice a week.
Yeah, eggs and potatoes.
Potatoes? Is
Yeah.
that
Those
is that the order?
potatoes.
Eggs and potatoes.
man.
Is that what's going to be served?
Gotta
as
bring the
marquee?
taters.
It's gonna be like a hors d'oeuvre platter with eggs, potatoes, and English muffins on the side.
So what's like the future? I mean, are you guys looking to go on tour? Are you looking to kind of expand your outreach, go out and go on the road? Because that's where you get to really allow people to really see you.
As long as the scheduling works.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm already heading on the road next month in August. And
You said on the run or on,
On
the
the
road?
road.
Okay, just
Yeah,
clarify.
Oh, he's on the run. Don't let him play.
Yeah,
He's
and on the run. But no, so I also play for a guy named Tommy Gibbons, and so I'm.
You don't wear a hat like that.
I'm touring for probably about 2.5, 3 months for the end of the year. A couple breaks, and I also play for Wade Coda, who was an American Idol finalist of 2019. Came in 4th place, and we're playing some shows in September. So, I mean, as long as all the scheduling works, I mean, I would personally love to bring this onto the road and take it out to different places, and bring the experiences that comes with this music to those people's face. I'd love to push that through a giant PA and have them feel it in their chest and really, feel that bass.
That's the vibe right now.
hear
After
that
being
that
nobody had a
tune.
year. I mean, I'm not really a huge concert goer, but as soon as I saw concerts coming out, I was like, I gotta go. I gotta go see like something.
Yeah.
Because like even sitting home, thinking like, okay, what am I gonna do? Normally you'd be like, all right, I'm gonna go here. I could do this. I could do this. When we had COVID, we were like, everything's closed. Like I even tried to call the meteor crater. It's outside. It's a 6-mile hole, and they said it was closed. I'm like, how can you close the hole? Right?
You can
But it was
do it.
closed, so I didn't know where to
Close
go.
the hole.
Dan, we had talked even on the phone, and I was like, what are you doing this weekend? You go, nothing. I'm going to sit home, work out, and I'm going to play my drums. And I'd be like, all right, I'll call you tomorrow to see what you're not doing. Right?
See what you're not going to
So
do now.
I have this like huge amount of drive to, and that's what stimulated the putting on the concert, letting people have 3 days of
Getting out of the
unrestricted,
house.
if you will, outdoors.
a
If you
release.
don't like the people or you feel uncomfortable, stay by your RV, stay by your tent. But you got a good seat. You can watch music for 3 days. So I love that music, and that's why we're doing these music type shows, is allow you to get that message out, get people back on, because I got to be honest, every time I turn on the news, I'm like actually getting angry. So
I've been
if
noticing
I
that
could
a
watch
lot,
a
too.
music video, I would be so happy.
Jerry, if
Yeah.
you build it,
They will come.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Field of Dreams.
You
Let's
build
do
it.
it.
Do you guys know that he's the Parker and Sons guy?
Yeah, we talked about
Did
that.
you-
up
No,
there.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
he's
What?
he's
May
Joe.
I haunt your commercial brain?
Yeah,
No wonder the
but
voice.
he does a great job. He's Joe.
Don't worry.
You remember
I got it.
Dylan.
I love that.
Dylan, you remember Melvin?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not the new
He's,
Melvin.
he's,
he took
he's
over.
the good-looking Melvin.
Yeah,
He's the Melvin
He's,
you want.
he's actually
Definitely
Joe.
yeah.
He's Joe.
Moved him over.
he's
had
Joe.
I'm Joe.
The new commercials. Yeah,
So
I
he
saw
is-
one of the commercials. I was like, I think he put kids to bed and like
I read him a
Read him a
fed them
Some
bread.
story. He's
Like
cooking.
Joe
That's freaking-
He's
fixes
wearing
your
an
AC.
apron.
and-
Yeah, dude.
pink apron. Oh yeah,
He's
Yeah.
rocking
that's
that pink
awesome.
apron.
I love it.
Of course, it
It's
says his
great.
band logo on the pocket.
Yeah,
He's got to sneak
You better.
that in.
You better.
Mississippi
Subliminal
Nugget.
advertisement, man.
That's it, man.
got
So
him.
Howie, you're pretty quiet over there. What's going on? You're like deep in thought. Are you thinking of a new song? Did I say something to stir it up? Was it eggs?
Got lyrics.
Be honest.
going.
I am the Eggman.
I'm a man of few words, but
When they
I
do
do
come
speak,
out.
they do listen, so I do
Good,
appreciate that.
And it's
So when did you start singing?
I started singing in the shower, I think, when I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
Literally. I remember the first song I ever sang in my life. And it was really cool because when I was like actually 4 years old. And I was in Detroit where I grew up. And it was like there's this little I remember exactly where I was. I was sitting on a porch and there was this little transistor radio and the Pinball Wizard came on.
All right.
All right. Nice.
And I had heard it like 4 times in my life because I was 4 years old.
4 years old.
And I sang the song word for word at 4 years old and I go, I couldn't believe I just did that. I go, you know what? I can do this.
All right.
That's awesome.
It took me a while to get to the point where I am
Did you take
actually
voice
singing
lessons?
in a band. I did take a year of voice lessons.
Okay.
Just to make sure that when I decided to be a singer that I was going to approach it seriously and wasn't going to do anything to hurt myself and make sure I used the technique because that's important. So,
Yeah.
so Pinball Wizard, I sang
So you
it.
played in any other bands prior to this?
Yeah, I was in an original band called Dagger.
Dagger.
And we recorded a CD and we opened up for some national acts at Marquee Theater. We opened up for like Quiet Riot, Striper.
Quiet Riot.
So people who are listening all over, if you don't know what the Marquee, it's kind of like the Whiskey Go-Go of Phoenix.
Yes.
Right?
Pretty much.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the hot spot to play if
you're here.
If you're good
Any
enough.
small time like local Arizona band wants to play at the Marquee.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most of the bands that come in that can't get into the auction, pavilions or
Those are the
big-
casino places.
So auction pavilion, it's actually it was
Well, it's
just
Indian owned, right?
no, it was owned by Cricket before.
Yeah, that's gone through like several name
Yeah,
changes.
they
Think it's
went through
just like the
it
Phoenix
was
Stadium,
Ashley
right?
Exactly.
Furniture,
Every
Home
year, yeah,
Pavilion,
every 2 years it changes.
Blockbuster Pavilion,
Oz
Desert
Fest.
Sky Pavilion.
Desert
I
Sky,
think
the
that
best-
was the original.
The best
yeah,
one was
well,
the Ashley Furniture Home Store Pavilion. That was the greatest name that it had.
yeah, it was like, hey, where you going? Ashley Furniture Home Store Pavilion. It's like the
You're
longest
getting a couch?
freaking name. I'm going to the concert. Like, I'm going to the
Ozfest
show.
would be held out there.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's
Yeah.
it's a huge place. But the Marquee is basically, when you're not big enough to get there and you're doing your tours, that's the best place to come out here because everyone in Phoenix knows the Marquee. So if you're playing the Marquee,
It's actually pretty centrally located too.
yeah.
It's very visible.
Yeah, it's visible
Yeah.
right off the
Yeah.
highway.
You always
You can't
see it.
miss it. It's like another
And it's
stadium.
right next to ASU.
Yep.
It's a great spot.
Love it. It's gonna be
Do you guys play bars? Is that in the repertoire?
So back pre-COVID, well, we weren't together at that time, but we had played some of the
All of us
the
in some
bigger
form.
local bars like Club Red was one of the bigger local places around, which it was just a tad bit smaller than the Marquee, but it was bigger than your local pub that had the corner stage where you had your drums and guitar amps, and then the band would have to stand on the floor. They had a big stage. They had great sound systems. We had a place called Joe's Grotto that was really good. Actually, 44 Sports Grill and Nightlife, they've actually got a really good stage out right
He's
now.
just plugging everybody now. Man. He's going for free drinks here.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
just remember my tabs are good. So those guys. I mean, we're trying to build the local scene back up, and it's really hard because we've lost due to COVID. We've lost a lot of the great local spots that all these locals used to go out to play. Places that we used to go out to play all the time.
Yeah.
They were very dear to our hearts. And it sucks that they had to shut down, but that's just how things happened. And now we're trying to fight for just what we've got left. And for those bars, they're doing whatever they can. And now that shows are just starting to come back, hopefully these guys are putting out the best shows that
Well, I'm
they
a
can.
big supporter of local bars. You guys know that, right?
You gotta be.
Yeah, gotta be.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to keep people afloat by bringing the mass crowd of 2 that follow me. I don't have the following you guys have. I have like 2.
We got
And I'm
3.
paying
We
them.
got 3.
We probably
They all-
have.
One's
do
actually
they
an Uber
always
driver.
follow?
No, they don't follow. It's an Uber driver. He's like, "You're here, bud. Get out."
Follows you to the
Yeah, I'll
bar.
come back and
Yeah,
get you.
they follow you just out front.
So I guess looking at where do you guys actually, as a band? Okay, I've done quite a few interviews with bands, and you see them in the beginning, and then you see them a few years later, right? You've seen it even on MTV and the old documentaries, how they went south, they went this way, that way. So like when you guys collectively get together, and I love the vibe, you guys are all contributing, but then I see like you're talking like you go out on these different tours, and it kind of, I don't know if does it break up the vibe as you guys? I mean, I'm always used to being a unit, right? The unit doesn't leave. I know you guys play in two bands, but it's kind of like three of the people are in the same band on both. But where do you guys like?
So on that,
How do you guys stay together?
So on that, when you have a vision like this vision, and what I do with my life is I basically live and let things unfold in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see what's out in front of me and I let that unfold. So when this got together and I saw, okay, I knew I could put a band together, have the music in the seminar, the people in the seminar, they go through it, they buy the music, they listen to it, it takes them back to the seminar. They're going to want to see a show.
So you made a so this band really isn't really a music band that is, it's made for it's an event, togetherness.
It was twofold. One, if you do something that has a lot of emotion and music's attached to it, and then you hear the song 5 weeks later, it can take you back to the moment.
Okay.
So it takes them back into the seminar, and you're building a huge community of people, so then they want to see that live. Who's the band? I happen to be the facilitator as well. So, it's his band, and now we want to see that band live. So then I put it out to that far. That's as far as I went with it. Okay, that's what's going to happen. And then Dylan, I knew where he was going. I've known him for 5 or 6 years now. I'm like, no, this kid's going to go. He's going to be on the road a lot. So I said straight out, do you want the position? I've got another drummer, Dale, sitting over here. He was like, well, no, I want to be your drummer. Now, if he's gone on another tour, Dale is learning everything. Mm-hmm. Dale can sit right in and do a show if we feel like booking a show. So then I take the music to this level, and then other things are unfolding now. And as they unfold, I let them unfold. There's some connections right now coming at me where send the music over here. There's some people that may want to use it for certain things that could expose it.
Okay.
Whatever.
Well, I like that you unified it to something.
Yeah.
There's a magic. You're actually attracting new people by either coming to your event or listening to the music, or both, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And was that the goal or the original? I mean, obviously you put it together, but
my first instinct was just write the music.
Yeah,
my first instinct, just write the music for the seminar, just have it in there. Yet jamming with these guys and being Black Wolf Mountain with these guys, it's just so powerful to jam with these guys. It was like, well, wait a minute, if we're going to have the music in there, there's going to be huge audiences. We can rent the marquee and throw a show for our own grads. There'll be 500 people there. Uh-huh. So, no, there'll be shows. And then it just started to, like, endless possibilities, unlimited. Like, whatever's going to show up, let it show up. So there's no limitation to it.
Okay.
Like, it can only be here. It can only go to there. It can only do that. You can do whatever it's going to do. It's a creation.
It's more of like a deep conceptual thing. Rather, it's more about the music and the whole image itself, rather than who's playing in the band. It's not like your regular. Like,
are you doing like a light show with it, or because it's on stage, obviously with all these people? Are you putting together? Is it like when you go to Pink Floyd or something?
When the funding comes, we will definitely Pink Floyd the heck out of this.
Laser
When
shows.
the funding
Like
comes.
creating a World That Works Foundation that is the foundation that runs the seminars. That board. This was something where this is all being approved, things to happen, like recording the album. Okay, the funds are there. We're going to record the album. We're going to shoot videos. If it goes to the place where, all right, we need some stuff for stage. We need some big backlighting stuff, whatever we want to do, then we just move it through the board to get everything approved to do it. The whole mission is creating a world that works. Through the seminars, through the music, through the community, through the unity. That's why... Like when we were speaking with Black Jagger and all that, they're right on board. They're like
he's supposed to be coming on.
Exactly, and they're just like everything they were saying is what we're doing. We just happen to have a vehicle that actually is a profound experience to go through. We have that on top of everything.
So are you going to be pulling other bands in that you find experienced music like yours to bring them in to do kind of this plethora, so the event itself would be longer and more attractive to other
Which
audience
event?
members? Well, you said you put this show on, right? And you play the music to what you're promoting, or am I not getting that?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, this show came about the way it came about. Let's say I was going to do a show, and I want to put something out to a couple thousand grads and say, "We're doing a show at the Marquee. Do you want to come out and see
No,
us?"
I think
Is that what you-
maybe I'm
Okay.
misunderstanding you. I thought you were doing a seminar and you bring the music to it. No?
The music's only being played through the PA system.
Oh,
So it's like
okay,
background
okay.
music.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like the
all
music
right.
is
I
like.
thought you would be like, doing a motivational
that would-
speak and then go, before we move to the next chapter.
Okay.
Like, and
That,
then-
that's a,
That-
con-
that
that's a
was on the
concept
table.
for a show.
Yes, that is on
like
the
at
table.
the Marquee. They're speaking with music and you going back and forth like a full-blown empowerment type of show.
like a Rammstein.
Yeah, inside the seminar, it'd be great if I was like, dudes, get on your jam. And we just jam in front of everybody. But they're not there for that. They're there for their own experience. But we have, and I have visualized that type of a show where there's heavy content speaking, like you went to see somebody speak, like Wayne
Okay.
Dyer or somebody. And then after that subject, this song explains all that, and then the band's rehearsing. So we'll probably be doing both types. Like, we won't do that at the Marquee.
Okay,
like,
so
what are
Marquee
you
is just a
doing
concert.
here?
Yeah, Marquee is a show.
Straight up
That's a show. That's just go out and
Bras
play
on the
music.
stage, underwear
Hoping.
being
Theoretically,
slingshotted.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
could
It's
happen.
all men's.
Oh,
Just
See how
kidding.
he's
I just throwed a little cocktail
curved
joke
at
in.
us on that one.
It's just a cocktail. Howie, nothing? You didn't even laugh. That was funny
No,
stuff.
Howie's
right
not
there.
going to laugh.
He just soaks everything in.
Very few
He's
words.
thinking he's like that could be a
He's
good
just looking
line
at me
later.
like, ask me a damn question.
Song about it.
Well, I would just say simply the way I look at it is Jack has a message and he has a vision. He wants to help people with his message. Now we have music that's connected to his message. And as we all grow up when we listen to music, it brings us back to the moment that relates to the song, no matter what it is. Old Bon Jovi song reminds you of your
Oh, yeah.
first girlfriend. See what I'm saying? So the message will connect you to a time in your life.
Exactly.
So
we
he's
asked
got
that
this
question.
message, and he's helping people with this message and helping people get through this big scary world here.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're connecting it to some music, and so now they can take this music home, or they can go see us live. And when they do that, and they're going to hear the song, it's going to trigger something in their brain. It's going to bring them back to the message, and the message is something positive, and it's going to help them in their life, and it's going to spread all around to everyone else, and we can get everyone together, and we can spread this message of living a good life and loving your neighbor and being kind to each other, and it's all going to be connected through the message, through the music,
Yep.
and wherever it goes from there is where it's going to go. I think that's Jack was saying. If it's a seminar where we're having a music and we're having positive messages spoken, and then the band comes on, so be it.
Yeah, yeah.
If it goes on the road and we have other groups that, hey, let's go tour a couple places and we'll sing positive messages and have his seminar maybe as a backstop of it, that's open to it as well.
Yeah, like the Jagger and Kevin's whole label. They were putting people together on that label with that type of attitude, correct?
No, it's
Yeah.
that's all wonderful. I mean,
Yeah.
I was just a little confused when I thought it was
Okay.
kind of an event with music, and you kind of like talked, and then you know what I'm saying? It was
Uh-huh.
like Tony Robbins comes out,
Yes,
and then
he
you
does.
jump back, and then you play a song, and
Yeah.
But going back to there are memorable songs. Like we were talking about this on one another show. Like, who was the first girl you had, and what was the song? And people were like, "Bam!" You know, like, look what the Cataract did. You know, everybody went around the table, right? It was like, "Bam, bam, bam," right? And everybody knew that song.
But
There
that's
was
it.
no-
It's that connection back to that memory.
yeah, and that memory is huge.
And that's the power of music, man. Like, I mean, heck, I listen to songs that, I mean, I wasn't even alive for when they came out, and it still brings back memories from when I was in middle school, elementary school. It was that one song, man.
Like when you were in the bar at 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
I
I
drank
was
that
hanging
O'Doul's.
with Dad.
I drank
You know
that
what I'm saying?
O'Doul's.
He brought me into the biker bar or whatever, and you're just like, I remember that song. That's the day he brought me in,
Yeah.
and I got
That's
my
it.
first leather.
There you go.
So
Girls
we're
was
saying
on.
music is so powerful, and then when it's got a message to it that really brings wholesomeness and kindness to everyone around you, it even makes it that much more special.
Or
And
empowerment.
that's what we're
Music
about.
can do that. It brings the unbiased out in everybody, right? You can sit there, you can listen from a rapper to a heavy metal like Marilyn Manson, right? Just sitting here with his colored eyes and painted face, and He's actually really cool, by the way. He's pretty much one of the funniest guys I hung with. But you sit with them and you see this difference. But when you're talking, they're like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I could do that. And you're like, could you do that with a rap and put it in with this? Mm-hmm. And now you're starting to see all these duets of people, right?
Yeah.
Like, even look at what Kid Rock did, right? He took the rap, kind of mixed it with some rock, and all of a sudden it's, rap rock. I don't know. What do they call it? Rap rock?
Something
rock
like
rock?
that.
They had Ozzy on a Post Malone song.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Post Malone plays guitar and everything too, but
Who was
he's known
Corey
for that.
Corey Taylor just had Tech Nine and some other rapper on one of his songs on his solo album, and that one was actually pretty good. But yeah, just bring the two genres together. Like that Post Malone song, that one threw me off as soon as I heard it the first time. I was like, wait a minute, is that Ozzy on this song?
Whole generation gets
Are you kidding me? What? Oh no, and that was the funny thing. Like I was seeing posts like, oh my God, I'm so happy Post Malone is giving this Ozzy guy a chance in the music industry. And I'm
Like not knowing that if
Oh,
it wasn't
you
for
kids,
Ozzy,
really?
Post Malone wouldn't even be around.
like,
Like,
exactly.
Ozzy's
But
been doing it, man.
but it was funny, like and it was nice to see Ozzy because I remember what he said about Justin Bieber. Who the F's Justin Bieber? Yeah. So for him to work with Post Malone,
I think Ozzy's a little forgetful.
well,
maybe.
a little bit.
The Oz man.
No, I think
Ozzy rocks.
music is it unifies people.
It's transcendent.
Even like in the 60s when, race was a huge issue, it was like not to musicians. For some reason, not to them. It's like, I don't care what color skin you are, just you play great. Let's jam. Let's do this. And that's why I always saw music seem to pull people together. And then later people start figuring out we could be together. But music was natural. Like, you can play drums, you're a drummer. I don't care who you are, where you were born, what nationality, you're drumming. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about putting musicians in a room. You can mix and match, and somebody will jump in. Kind of like when you watch those like benefit concerts, and they're like, I was watching this one with Brian Setzer, and he's like, BB King, and then BB King comes on, and then he brought on Les Paul, he brought on, every living legend guitarist, right, that was jamming with him, and it's so cool because they had like 9 people up there, and everybody is rocking and doing the kind of like their point. So they'd be like, blah, 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 and point, and the other guy would be like,
The original collab was Run DMC
And Aerosmith.
Aerosmith.
That was like
Great
the
crossover.
Yeah.
That was the crossover. That was big.
But the way they did the video was killer.
Yeah.
It was
breaking
a
the wall.
beautiful, 2 different stages. But they had the big gold ropes.
Yeah, that
chain.
was a good
That was OG
crossover.
days.
someone bring
Over
back those
golded.
music videos. Let's see how much they cost now.
Well, that is one of the things that we're, because I'm looking at Black Jagger is supposed to be coming in. I guess, I don't know. I think they're having technical difficulties with the internet, but what was I saying?
That's what happens.
Well, we wanted him to come on. They're coming in from L.A. He's with the Kevin as well. I think they're sitting there together trying to get this going. But these are the guys that Jack had invited to play with you. Amazing good vibe. And, I don't know if you see it, but like the West Coast has this like really killer vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh, yeah.
musicians in general have that vibe. But out here, there's like a kind of a unity
Oh, yeah.
that, is welcoming.
Yeah.
Did you? Just for the first time you met him on our one of those shows,
Oh, yeah.
it was amazing, and I want you guys to see this amazing kind of reconnection. L.A., Phoenix. We're only a couple hours difference, same time zone, but
Right.
this is becoming the very popular spot. If you notice, there's like a lot of Californians are moving here.
Oh, yeah.
I know a lot of celebrities that have moved here.
Yep.
They bought condos already because they can't find a house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's impossible to find a house here. There's like 40,000 houses per area going up right now.
Yeah. It's
And they'll all
big.
be sold in 2-3 days.
No, they're already pre-sold.
Oh.
Yeah, they're already
Steven
done.
Seagal just sold his house. He was selling it for 3.2. The first bid was 3.5.
Yep.
How?
That's what I kept telling John, man. That's what I kept telling John.
Dude, I told you.
Just
I
sell it
told him
more,
to.
man. 1 point.
I'm trying to sell the shed behind me. I'm like $500,000.
Get it.
It's a 1-bedroom.
See, there you go, California.
It's got
we
barn-
got a
barn doors.
place for you. He's got it for you. $500,000. Just
$500,000.
call.
Just
call
a
him.
shack.
Just call him.
Do it up.
Where do you guys practice? Do you have a practice place?
Temporarily, we practice at
my house.
Jack's house. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How
I
your
had a
neighbors
place in
dealing with you?
PV Mall, and,
Oh.
and obviously PV Mall. They've
Yeah.
actually started ripping it down. I saw
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw
they
that.
just started doing that.
We were practicing in there when I had the center over there. And now we're just temporarily in my house, which is cool with me because then I just walk downstairs, jam with the boys.
But how's the neighbors?
They're good.
You just got 2 deaf neighbors.
No, they can hear it. They've told me we sound really good.
How is it living with you? You play at your house?
No, we got a little jam space out in Phoenix.
You got those electric drums, right? So you're hitting the
yeah, if
pads
I'm
with the
practicing
headphones?
at home, I got a set.
I saw the videos.
Little Rollins, little mesh head Rollins. It just sounds like you're smacking a table. So yeah, no one's going to get upset with that.
Yeah.
No. But if you're going to play with the real set, acoustic set, people have to be okay. You got to go somewhere.
I don't believe that.
So do you guys have a website, or how do people find out about the concert? Let's do a little concert promoting.
Tickets, they can go to phoenixmetrochamber.com and they can order tickets right off. The concert is Wolf Fest, headlined by Black Wolf Mountain. Supporting band is Next Evolution. The other 3 bands, a portion of all ticket sales are going to go to 3 different non-kill shelters in town. So
That's a good benefit.
Yeah, and the Chamber is sponsoring it, and also the Phoenix Metro Chamber Foundation. The proceeds will go to the foundation. The foundation will distribute them out to the non-kill shelters.
Awesome. And this concert is August 27th. What time does it start?
I believe doors are at 6.
I believe it was 6 o'clock for doors.
And
What time do you guys go on?
Next Evolution, what did you figure about 8:30ish
I'm
or something?
thinking about maybe 8:39.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten the total set times together yet. Since it's still pretty far out, but that's kind of what we're looking at, probably about that time. But you definitely want to come and check out the entire show. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have a bunch of people there. These are the bands that they are very good. You definitely want to come and check those guys out.
And it's
Do you guys
rockers.
you have a website though? Does Next Evolution have a?
I have not put the website up yet.
So how are you reaching people? Facebook?
Right now, yeah, Facebook for just letting people know. I just started to put out there that this is going on once I got the link set up on the website and everything. There'll be more promotions going out. We'll be on Channel 7, Channel 12. We'll be doing more promotions as we get closer to the event.
Okay.
Really,
Dan
and
are going to be there.
Dan, you're going to be there. And,
Yeah.
and you know what? It's there's going to be a lot of business people out there. I'm in the business world. So it's really businesses and rockers raising money.
So it's
for the
corporate ties.
Well, yeah, come on in, network. There's a mixer, go on. There'll be some vendors there, have a good time. Band goes on for 30 minutes, then 20 minutes. You can mingle and talk and do your thing.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Is there
really
going to
cool.
be when you're doing the kill shelters? Are they going to be there showing animals?
Yes. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to.
I don't
I
think
wouldn't
that
have
we're
them
gonna do
bringing
that.
animals there, only because it'll be loud, and that's usually.
Yeah, we don't want to hurt their ears.
Is it all dogs or what is it?
The non-kill, I
dogs,
believe they're
cats.
dogs primarily. It could have cats. I would have to check on that.
Okay, no horses.
They just don't kill. Yeah, they don't kill on purpose at all.
So can people adopt?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So and we'll promote them. When I go on the morning shows, I'll have them, come down with a couple of the dogs that are up for adoption at that point.
Nice.
Hey, it's
Are
good
you guys going to
stuff.
take one?
Maybe.
I'd love to.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Good question.
My girl
You know
might hate
what?
me,
At
but
the
yeah.
Get
last-
some eggs.
At
If
the
I wanna
last
pay
dog
that
event for the
pet fee in
chamber,
my
we had a
apartment.
rescue event where all the rescue dogs were out there, and I called Melinda and I was like, "There's a lot of rescue dogs." She's like, "If there's a little Yorkie Terrier, grab it." And I put the phone down and I didn't do it to us. I was like, "I'm not going to do it to us," because we had one and it's like a child. Like if you want to leave, it's a child. You ain't just leaving. This thing's got to be taken care of. And we just went through that with Vegas, our other dog. And I was like, right now, we're free from all kids, all animals. Not right now. But we'll support them. Like, that will do.
All right. Well, it's been the hour, guys. How do we plug you? Just Next Evolution. Look it up. Google or
Well, if you look up Next Evolution, you'll see some things on there. We do have
Facebook stuff?
a YouTube channel and all that. There
Trying to
is
give you a plug.
nextevolutioncenters.com. You can go on there and find out about the seminar stuff, and the band stuff will be up on that website. Tickets for August 27th are at phoenixmetrochamber.com. Go right up on there, go to the events calendar, Go to August 27th, click on it. You can buy tickets. Floor seats are $16.
It's pretty cheap.
VIP $31. That's up in the top
Balcony
part.
section.
Yeah, where you get a bar stool and a nice little place to be. And they only sell 81 seats up there, so there's more room to move around. You won't be crowded up there. And they have a bar right there upstairs.
Oh, that's very nice.
There you go.
So Black Wolf Mountain, does that have a band or a
Black
website?
Wolf
Yes.
Mountain, you can
Yes.
check
I mean, you
out.
got three guys here. We might
Yeah.
as well plug
You
it.
can check us out at blackwolfmountain13.com.
13?
Yeah, 13.
That's our lucky number.
That's we got John Adams, who's our singer. John Adams, the 13th. So
I saw him. He's got kind of a Danzig look. Guy
Uh,
with longer
yeah.
hair.
yeah, we
Right?
need
Because
to.
he's a big guy. He's like,
Oh,
muscular.
13?
Yeah, he's the John Quincy Adams, the
is
13th.
He's the descendant of John Quincy Adams.
Yeah.
There you go.
Numerals after.
Very much.
Yeah, so well, just an X and three I's. You know, it's not that
Just
bad.
an X.
But yeah, so you can check us out at blackwolfmountain13.com or Black Wolf Mountain on Facebook. We actually just released our latest song, Dance, back in March. We're just about to release our new song, Really Alive, next Friday. So that's gonna be coming out, and then we've got this show that is on August 27th.
We also have our YouTube page, Black Wolf Mountain, our Instagram page, Black Wolf Mountain, Twitter page, Black Wolf Mountain 13.
Next Evolution has to kind of.
I know we
Next
got to step
Evolution.
up on that
Catching up.
social
Next
media.
Evolution, we haven't been together 4 years now, so we're just, we started when? April, right?
We literally started
Yeah.
probably,
April.
yeah.
Okay, so it's brand new.
It's
then.
Yeah.
We're still like
brand
infant
stinking new.
stage.
Oh.
So yeah, so if you wanna catch up with Next Evolution eventually on social media, follow Black Wolf Mountain because you'll definitely see some tags.
There's definitely a
going on
tie-in.
there.
Okay.
And nextevolutioncenters.com. I'll put the band up on there in one of the tabs.
And the Phoenix Metro Chamber of Commerce.
PhoenixMetroChamber.com.
There you go. .com. Well,
Tickets.
this kind of ends this Friday. It's been an hour. Been a pleasure having you guys here. I want to thank everybody
Thanks,
for coming
Jerry.
out.
Thanks, Jerry. It's been our pleasure, buddy.
Remember, Foqus TV is the new music channel coming out here in August. It will have music videos, VJs, concert updates, music news. I would love these guys to come back and obviously play your music video on the week of the launch of the
Sure.
new channel. It will be in 195 countries. It is sponsored by the UN, and we are bringing music back. So thanks again. We'll see you next Friday right here.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you.
She said she was from Colorado. One day she would win the lotto. Ran away from home and it's been a long road. And she wanna be a supermodel.